Hey guys, welcome back. Yeah, new update. I finally have MVP right now with the foundational components of the AIDevAccelerator. If you're new to the channel, basically what I'm doing as a solo developer, solo founder, is I'm proving that one developer can act like 10 with the use of AI. And right now the experiment has been running for 44 days. And the AI has estimated that it's saved about 115 days on these components. So if you'll see here that these are all the ones that have been completed. I still have some that are still in the planning mode because I don't think those are MVP type of components. Those are more post-launch things like business intelligence, API, chatbot, in CRM type things. What you'll see on the left here is pretty much from my 30 years of experience of dealing with customers and coming up with features and components for them. They all seem to ask for the same things. So that's why I wanted to do this project. I wanted to build out the foundation and be able to spin up new foundations and then just add on the customizations for the workflow or the idea or whatever problem it solves. So as you'll see here, there's billing of subscriptions, emails, enterprise role-based authentication, things like one user can add and update, but that user can't delete, things like this. Enterprise security foundation, analytics, help desk usage. And then I decided to add a decentralized crypto payments as well to it because there are a few ideas that I want to build out that really don't meet the requirements of having a Stripe involved. It's just literally, back-end crypto payments, but I wanted it to be decentralized. So I added that in there. That's kind of a nice thing to have. I haven't seen very many SaaSes offer that as a payment option. And I think it'd be nice to be able to just run a SaaS fully crypto only. It'd be interesting. It's one of the reasons I started this experiment to begin with was to do things that are interesting and new and custom. So that's where we're at with the MVP. I wanted to show you basically this Waitlist Pro has been, if you've seen my videos in the past, that's kind of the case study that I'm going off of because I think it's a really intriguing concept. I think a lot of founders in the SaaS space have they've either wanted to do it this way or they do it this way. And a lot of quote unquote gurus talk about, just making a marketing page and having people sign up before you even build something out to prove the concept. So I think it's very interesting. I don't think a lot of waitlist products on the market do a good job. So I kind of just wanted to build out my own. So anyway, this is basically what we're going to build out, probably the first one. And but right now it's just just like I said, the foundational stack is there. But with the landing page, I wanted to actually build it out. So the landing page is built out and working. And the number one requirement for the landing page was it had to be performant. It had to be beautiful because you can't make sales if your page is loading, right? So it has to be super fast, but it also has to be beautiful. So if you'll see here is that a lot of this stuff came from my research from different SaaSes. So things that I liked from different projects, different apps. I like the way that they have the feature cards. I like these testimonial cards. You come down here, and what you'll see is, like I said, the number one requirement was to be performant because it has to come up. So if any of you created SaaSes, you'll know that you have to integrate with the payment provider, of course, and Stripe is very complicated to integrate with unless you use something like a Clerk or Better Auth. Things like this have features where you can actually integrate with Stripe. But what I found was it's very simplistic, and you didn't have full control of the template. And their template I thought was ugly. So I wanted everything to integrate UI and UX wise. So right now what you'll see is a flash come up right when you see the pricing. And that's basically what's happening is the landing page is loading super fast and throwing kind of a placeholder in to the pricing section so it comes up super fast. If you do not scroll down to that section, it will not call the database to pull up a cached version of the pricing models. So that way it loads immediately. And so when you come down at the bottom, this will, well, it didn't flash. Let's see if I can get it to do it. So then you come down and you'll see that it pulls from the database a cached version of this. So also, if you're familiar with Skype, you can actually put your subscriptions into Skype, and it'll sync back to your Convex if you do webhooks correctly. So basically, I have a webhook in Convex, and every time I make an update to my Stripe plans, it will update my Convex cache, and then this page will invalidate the cache every so often, so that everybody, if I change this to $199, I mean, these are just arbitrary. They're test prices. This is not going to be the launch price for this Waitlist Pro, but it's just something I put in here because it's just to see the different levels. But if I change this to $199, it won't change immediately because there is a caching system going. But Stripe will call the webhook and it will update Convex with the pricing plans. And then when this is invalidated, that will go live. And so you can see here, monthly, annually. Again, if you tried to use third parties, this is not something, it just doesn't look pretty. I think this looks amazing. So again, the FAQs, things like that. Very simple contact center. So let's go, and I want to walk through. I want to walk through and show a demo of how all the sign up works, the back end, and all the pieces, so you can get an idea of how well it works, and just the flow of everything. So I go to get started. You have to put your email address in here. So you put your email address in, right? And then it'll send you a code. Now I wanted to do this flow because I wanted to be able to validate emails without having to do the other kind of flows. I don't think they work. I think this is the only one that really works. So I got the email, and it's going to show me my code. And the great thing about this is that I don't like formatting emails like this. And AI just did it immediately, and it looks beautiful. Because I had to go out and do research on the ones that do it properly. So let's see what the code is not coming up. This is what happens when you make a video, right? All right, there it goes. 204717. So now you sign up with your name. Give it a password. It's going to tell you if it's and then you can put your company name in. Now, the very first user that signs up, I have it set that that's the platform owner. So if I sold this to someone, it would be completely empty and completely, blank for a project, for a SaaS. The first person to sign up will be the owner of the platform, and then they will get ownership. You'll see the ownership features, what I show when I log in. I can also set during the generation process, I can give it an email address that basically when that person signs up, they become the platform owner. So they did two ways so that we can, if you want to launch it first without becoming the owner, you can set the email. If you don't, the first user would become the owner. So, okay, so here we go. We're online, and here's the different sections. Customers, support queue, knowledge base, analytics, security alerts. If somebody hits the site more than 100 times in like 10 seconds or 5 seconds, I can't remember the exact settings, but those will be released on the site when I've set up everything. But this actually is nice for rate limiting. There is rate limiting already in the site. So it has what's called exponential backoff. So if you hit the site a certain amount, of times and get alerted or get blocked, it'll reset after a certain amount of time. But if you do it again, it'll reset longer and longer and longer. So and this is what I would probably I could probably show you. Same thing happens when you try to sign up, and you or when you sign up and you try to log in, and you make a mistake and you have a wrong password. It's not going to just lock you out after 3 tries. I think some of these sites that are out there that do that, it's like they just create a support nightmare for yourself where people are sending tons of tickets in. Basically, I do the same thing. It's an exponential back off where you make mistakes 3 times, it makes you wait 10 seconds. You make 2 more mistakes, it makes you wait 30 seconds. You make a couple more mistakes, it makes you wait 5 minutes, and then 30 minutes or an hour. So it's slowly, and then it'll lock your account, of course, at a certain level. But you have to kind of screw up a bunch of times, and you're warned many, many times, how long you got to wait. So, and again, these security monitoring thresholds, I don't want to release publicly because people can, try to subvert it, right? So a lot of this stuff is not going to be public, but again, it's there. And then multi-factor authentication was one of the requirements I had for security. To do, MFA, of course, is a lot of times required for a lot of sites that do highly confidential information. So I wanted to have it business to business, B2B level, corporate level, enterprise level to begin with. And if one of the apps isn't that strong or doesn't need that, fine, you can just not use it. But as a platform owner, you can enable the entire. Actually, hang on one second. You can set up your own MFA, right? And then and then you can actually configure. Actually, I think you can actually say that it's required for the entire system. But actually, when organizational owners, you'll see when I create a company and they come in, they can actually require their team members to enable MFA, multi-factor. So I wanted that to be standard because I think that every business owner, especially in my case, if I want team members to come onto my platform, I want their security profile to be the same as mine. Because I think the problem with a lot of different systems is that you get team members in there and one person doesn't do it, and then that's where the leak happens, and problems happen where there's just one person who, it's not their job to be a security specialist. They just go in, they want to just do their work. So in this case, they can't even do anything. So they have to, if they don't know how to do it, they have to get help to be able to go on the system, to be enabled. And so I wanted to do that, as a minimum. So obviously here you can do multi-factor. It gives you the QR code. You scan it in. You go into Google Auth app and you secure your account. So let's go in and try another. So that's the platform owner. So now let's sign up as a new customer. So now that the platform owner was created, the system is now fully functioning, and any new customers will become what's called the organization owner. So the organization owner is the one who pays, right? The organization, will pay for the subscription to the service. So let's go ahead and I'm going to. Okay, so I've got a code. Okay. Let's do John Doe. I don't know. Okay. Let me do like Acme Inc. Let's do LLC. Yeah. Okay, so now we are a user now of the system. And the user of the system has team members, right? So this will show the team member. This is where we're going to get into customizations, right? So this organization dashboard is basically just a shell. So this is basically where I'm going to basically put all of the metrics and interesting things analytics, whatever, that someone would want to see for, like, let's say Waitlist Pro, right? Waitlist Pro, you'll see, you know, how many sites you get out there, what's performing better, how many people have signed up, things like that. So this page will be customized, and that's next. So the foundational components is what I'm showing you. This screen is what you instruct the AI to manipulate and change based on your ideas. So this is just a placeholder. It doesn't really, nothing really works. I mean, this works, shows you your team members, because you're considered one of the team members. And then you can invite your team, of course. You have to, in this case, you have to upgrade to enable team members. Basically, I made it a free trial, but you can upgrade if you want team members. So then to you know, come in here, you have to sign up. So there you go, and you have to sign up. And again, if you come up here and you click Get Started, it'll go to Stripe, right? So there's Stripe. Stripe works. Then you come up to help. You can create a ticket, and again, the ticket will show up on the platform owner's dashboard, and it's kind of like a chat. So it goes back and forth like a chat. So if I come up here and I say, you know, I'm having a problem, this is crazy, you create a ticket. So there's a conversation board here where, you know, I'll go back and I'll make a comment and you can put it here. So if I say, you know, why aren't you responding? You know, it's going to do it like a conversation. And so you'll see the other side, and it's kind of like a text message, right? So, and then you can mark it, actually the platform owner has to mark it closed and whatnot. So that's the support ticket stuff. Billing, of course, saw that. Organization settings. Okay, and this is what I talked about earlier, is that you can make it a multi-factor requirement where you can require all team members to enable MFA. And then once they've logged in and signed up, logged in, they'll get presented with the multi-factor authentication requirement, and they have to set it up before they're even allowed to go in. And then profile is pretty standard. So let's invite a team member. I have to upgrade, shoot. I'm actually going to upgrade, and I'm going to show you that. I might skip a few things. So let's do this. All right. It says Singapore dollars there because I'm on a Singapore VPN. I just find it more performant from where I am. Okay, so now we have a subscription now. So basically, you can manage your subscription from here, right? If you're a member, and then it shows you how many members you have. And so right now, the current subscription, all it does is allowing up to 5 members in the organization. So you're the first, or I'm the first, right? And so it's allowing up to 5. So I didn't go any further than that, again, because when you build out your custom features, you can just say, hey, I want it. You know, AI will have to go into, and there is an actual component that controls this usage and limits. So you can say the parts of the site that should be limited based on their subscription. So if you know, this subscription allows 5, and the next subscription allows 10. You know, the Pro Plus allows 10, so that would have been 10. So the first I picked the lowest one. So now we're allowed to put 5. So I'm going to invite a team member. So then I come in here and I'll just put in another one. So send the invitation. I'm going to have to log out, and I'll show you, not to log out, log back in, but I'll show you. Okay, so I got the email for the team member sign up, and I'm going to just paste it in here so you can see it. So that came in, accept invitation. It's going to pop up a screen where you have to confirm, right? You were invited by John Doe. That was me when I signed up. right? You're a team member. Let's create an account. So let's say this is Jane Doe. Okay, so now you're going to join that team. I don't know if you see that little loading screen. It checks your multi-factor every single time. So there you go. So again, this is a workspace, that placeholder, because team members is each SaaS is different. This is just a placeholder. This is what the team member would see as their daily workspace, right? So this can be edited and manipulated, and it should be based on, right? So if you want to delegate, if you don't want to delegate, then you don't use the team member sections. You don't need it. And that's why I wanted to create this, because some SaaS ideas don't need team members, so you just take it out. So it's a component that's there and it's waiting, because I think a lot of people will want to delegate, so it's in there. Anyway, my tasks, same thing. These can be manipulated and updated. Support tickets is here as well, and then of course profile and MFA. So there's the team thing, and then if we go back and we sign in, I'm gonna sign in with the organizational owner. You'll see that that team member is there. So there's Jane Doe, member, active, right? So that's where we're at. There's a lot of things in the background, I think, that are not visible, that are in this. This is quite built out. Email, right? Resend email works really well. Multi-role dashboards, those are the things I just showed that are customizable. AI branding landing pages. This will be another feature that I'm going to be putting together, where the landing page is basically can be manipulated by AI. So and then enterprise authentication and role-based authentication. You saw that. I just showed that. So this is the analytics part was really difficult. I wanted to go through that real quick, because I think this is huge for platform owners. I think that that's one thing that I really want to get right. And I'm going to log in here with the platform owner real quick. And the analytics is, I think, really important. Now this, I don't know if I'm going to keep this on there, because it's kind of annoying. You can just go to Stripe and you can look at all your MRR stuff and all that. So, but I do want this, I want churn rate in here. You can probably already also see this in Stripe, but I kind of like this. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass. It created a race condition in Convex that was really annoying. But I think it's important to have kind of a dashboard in the same area that if you do wherever you do your daily work. So if you come in here and you're doing kind of some daily work, and maybe your SaaS has, you have to come in a lot and look at things, and again, this platform overview can be manipulated. It's there to be changed. The dashboard section is made to be customized, and so when you go in here, I want to see this stuff. I want it all in one place. I'm tired of this. I'm number one. I'm the number one guy who says, hey, let's integrate. There's things out there that can do this, so let's integrate with it. But there's a breaking point there, that if you have a third party that does your support queue, you do have a third party that does your knowledge base, you have a third party that does your analytics, it becomes cumbersome to be opening and closing windows and going into different sections. I'd rather just pull it in via an API, right? So I want it to be in one place, and that's the focus. And I know this is a pretty boring video, but if you're a founder and you want to see all the components that are already built for you, I think it's huge, because you can say, I have an idea, but I'm not a technical guy, or and I think that's the biggest problem with AI. Actually, the biggest benefit and the biggest problem is that AI gives you so many tools that you think you can just go in and start your idea using something like a Lovable or a Replit, and it'll just code it up for you, and you're off to the races, making money with your new SaaS and your idea. But that's just not the case. There are unfortunately bad actors in the world right now, and they know that AI does not have the depth of features when it comes to security, and your dream could become a nightmare if you don't do it right. And so what I wanted to provide was the base, and I don't want to just sell it as a template. I don't want to create this and say, here's a SaaS template. No, that minimizes the depth of what it really is. And I think some people are going to complain and go, oh, how did you value $450,000 of completed components? Well, again, I've been in this business for 30 plus years, and I do know that a lot of these sections are quite difficult to do by hand, and directing the AI and what to do, what pieces are very important to have, what the strategies are and patterns that need to be put in, and then it actually suggested things as well. So, going in that direction is, I think, very, very important to have a baseline. If you're not, a very experienced founder, if you are an experienced founder, you already know that this is a huge step forward if you have ideas. I mean, every founder that I've ever met, or anybody in general, have thousands of ideas. I don't know about you, but I've got a ton of ideas that I want to try, and you can't try them if it takes 5 months or 3 months even, because you're in constant flux. A lot of people run one SaaS. Well, I don't want to run one SaaS. I want to run 10. I want to run 5. And I want to be able to sell off a SaaS and not start over. I want to be able to come up. I have ideas that I think would really help different industries. I've been in the real estate industry. I know there's huge pain points in that industry. There's the legal field, the medical field, any corporate level knowledge transfer. There's all sorts of different things. Content creators had huge timelines to try to get videos out. I mean, just doing these videos for you guys to showcase what I've done, it takes time to do the editing. Like, actually recording this doesn't take that long. It's the editing. And so I have an idea of an AI editor as well, and there is already one on the market. But again, I don't think that a lot of these do it correctly, or they just do it kind of single layered. It's not very deep, and they just want to get out and make money, which is great. That's what you should do in the beginning, but you should add on to it. And that's the concept here, is that we're going to launch with battle-tested foundational SaaS stack components, enterprise grade, all this, right? That's why it's taken me a while to do it, right? 44 days active. I want to get this part right. But when we start pumping out things, the market should decide your direction. That's what I believe. But you should not trust in the AIs at this certain stage to build out the security infrastructure that's going to run your SaaS, because you're just asking for problems. You're going to be caught up in managing your site day to day. Personally, I don't want to manage sites day to day. I want to manage the marketing, the sales. I want to be able to try new things. I'm not a salesman. I'm not a marketer. So, I want to come up with different components that are part of that niche that I think match. So, anyway, this is it. Appreciate your time watching the video. I know it's kind of boring, but if you're a founder and you really want something like this, get in touch. If you want to be able to, you have an idea and you want to build it out, get in touch. Let's talk. And if you see something that pops up that I'm going to release and it's interesting to you, also get in touch. And like and subscribe. Again, I'm trying to build this out. I'm doing it in public. I've never done this before. I've usually been kind of a heads down kind of developer, and I decided to try out YouTube, do some videos. A little bit uncomfortable, a little bit feel like it's a little bit boring, but again, it's something that you got to do to get your name out there and get things out there. And so, anyway, if you have any concepts, ideas, and even comments, just if you didn't like something that I put out, make a comment. If you did like it, please comment. I really, and if you're a founder or want to be a founder, then please give me any type of feedback, positive or negative. I'm gonna keep pushing forward, and we're gonna get this done. So have a great day. Cheers.